Okay, so we are going to look at solving linear and quadratic equations and inequalities. So let's talk about the difference between the two. When we are looking at equations, we just want to know where those two functions intersect. So we have a line and a quadratic, so they could intersect never. So like this quadratic opens down, and then I have a line with positive slope. So the line could be to the left of the quadratic, where it won't ever intersect. It could intersect just at a point on the quadratic, or so that would be just one time, or it could go through the quadratic where it would intersect twice. But the most times it can intersect would be 2, the least would be 0. All right, so we're looking for intersection points there. I can graph to find intersection points, but I can also use the substitution method. Since these are both solved for y, I can substitute. So I'm going to take 3x plus 4 and replace y with it, since I know that y is equal to that. So I have 3x plus 4 equals negative x squared plus 4. So since I have x squared term and an x term, I'm going to get everything to the left side and set it equal to 0, and then see if I can factor it. So I'm going to add x squared to both sides. There's not another x squared over here. So I'm just going to put the x squared in the front. And then I'm going to subtract 4. So 4 is just a plain number, no x's. So I'm going to put it underneath my other plain number. And you can see those add to be 0. So x squared plus 3x plus 0 equals 0. I'm going to factor out greatest common factor because I only have 2 terms left. So x times x plus 3 equals 0. So x equals 0. X equals negative 3 are the x values of where I have an intersection point. So 0 something and negative 3 something. So before, when we were just given this, we were finding x-intercepts. Now we're finding an intersection point. So I go back to either equation and plug in 0, and I plug in negative 3. So I'm going back to the top one, maybe. Y equals 3x plus 4. And I'm going to plug in 0. And 0 plus 4 is 4. And then I'm going to plug in negative 3. So negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. So those are the two intersection points. So if I graph these two either by hand or on Desmos or on my graphing calculator, and I find where these two guys intersect, this line and this parabola, it's going to be at the ordered pairs. 0, 4, and negative 3, negative 5. Okay, so what's the difference in that and solving an inequality? So notice, exact same equations, but I have inequality symbols here.